started fixing up the sensors across the racket, and a player who is basically using that rackets, they can get the real-time data, and that is basically the invisible part of that. So what they did, they sold the subscription of the Babylot app. Everyone has to download it either on the iPhone or the tablet, whatever the instrument they are using, and they can check the speed, what speed they are hitting the ball, what is the air humidity in it, what is basically what pace they are playing. So, and Babylot company was very clever in their approach. They approached the French Tennis Association, and they got the changes in the rule book that if you want to enhance your game, you can use the technology. And so this way the company started getting more and more subscription and multiple fold of revenues for that organization. So this is a stage 2 of digitalization. But why we fail? This is another big question. We know what is digitization. We know why. What is the answer to this problem is we cannot improve unless we basically do not know how to measure it. So the measuring technique which the industry is using is Smart Industry Readiness Index. The nickname of this index is known as SIRI. The SIRI comprises of, this is basically an prioritization index. This helps the organization to find out where they are in terms of technology, prioritizing the area of improvement, and benchmarking against the industry peers. It basically, the SIRI framework has 3 pillars and 8 dimensions, 8 pillars and 16 dimensions. So there are SIRI assessors. This SIRI was formed in Singapore Economic Development in 2017. So if you are really serious about the digital transformation, you have to evaluate. You have to find out where you are in terms of digitalization so that you should not fail. So this basically, it help you to identify, and this SIRI, this prioritization matrix works on 3 major inputs. First is, what is the current facility of your facilities? Second is cost revenue implications, and third is your KPIs. If you don't know your KPIs, if you don't know your vision, you will never be able to achieve your digital vision. Then, so I'm not going to, so we have to analyze our organization through SIRI, and this Industry 5.0 Industry Revolution has been, I'm going to leave this presentation with Professor Sunil, Anil, so he can share the presentation. So I'm not going to talk about Industrial 1, 2 revolution, Industry 3 revolution, Industry 4, but of course, yes. Let me tell you very frankly, the Industry 5.0 is not a revolution. Industry 5.0 is an evolution. Evolution means evolving the new ways of doing the things. So we can very simply, in the simple way, we can say Industry 5.0 is a line extension of Industry 4.0. Which is basically because Industry 4.0 has certain drawbacks that has resulted into an Industry 5.0. Because Industry 4.0 focus mostly on optimization of production, wealth creation, that is responsible for the climate change and biodiversity collapse also. Industry 4.0 do not take care of the well-being and social dimensions. Environmental aspect and promotion of green energy adoption was completely ignored. In fact, human being was distant from the factories. They were not part of that. Even, you will not believe, you can find it out on the net, that Tesla chairman Elon Musk has also said that it was the biggest mistake in his life when he has depended too much on Industry 4.0 by giving an automation. And it is very difficult to sell his car because people don't trust of driverless car. So he has said in his interview, one of the interview on CNN, that he wants to take a break for 6 months from Industry 4.0 because Industry 4.0 completely eliminates the human aspect of that human aspect in that system. So what is Industry 5.0? I think most of us know what is Industry 5.0. It is a combination of automation, robotic and artificial intelligence with the human intelligence. I'm not going to get in detail, but this we have already discussed. But what are the core pillars? There are 3 core pillars of Industry 5.0 is human centricity. sustainability, and resilience. If we clear about these three core pillars, we will be successfully implementing the industry 5.0 in our organization. So what is human centricity? Human centricity is all about empowering your human being to think differently, encouraging employees or manpower not to work in silos. Someone is working out here, someone is working in other silos, because otherwise if we individual work in a silos, we will never able to achieve the organizational vision or a goal what we want to achieve, and we will never able to create a competitive advantage. We will always have a being on the loser side. So how can we implement human centricity in an organization? The first very important thing which we need to do is the shift mindset from the organization centric culture to the human centric culture. What is organization centric culture? It is organization thinking about their profits, organization thinking there about how much they can extract from the individuals, how much work they should get more so that they can get more and more profits. The organization has to shift their mindset from a human centric approach, thinking that human beings are not the part of they are not the factor of the cost, but they are the investment. One true fact, let me tell you, there are 4 M's which are responsible for growth of organization. One is manpower, other one is machine, other one is material, and of course the methods. Trust me, all the 3 M's you find on the asset side of the balance sheet, but manpower is missing. So we have to find out, create a human-centric approach. There was one question which ma'am has asked in the first preliminary sessions. What about the job losses? And from the HR point of view, I was heading the HR with JP Gurva Hotels. Let me tell you very frankly, the biggest challenge within HR heads are facing is attrition. And the attrition, the attrition is between 0 to 1 year. The 56% of the employee leaves. What is the reason? The reason is very simple. There has been a mismatch between the expectation of the individual who is joining the organization and the organization providing the resource. They are not organization not upgrading them. Because today the youngsters are more energetic and more technological advanced, and when they land up to any industry or any organization, they find a culture shock. So their life in the organization is between 1 day to 365 days. In between they leave. They don't want to. In fact, this is fact also. We are also grooming our kids to be more digital friendly so that to meet the challenges of the future. But organizations are not working. Organizations are not developing themselves. That is the reason we as HR heads are facing the major challenge of attrition. And that too happening from the 1 day to 365 days. 56 or even many, it depends on industry to industry, even you talk about IT. The biggest is attrition. So there is no dearth of job. There is no fear. In fact, in 2019, before the COVID, I was addressing in a conference on Industry 4.0 where the hospitality professionals were sitting. Same fear was there. So what about Industry 4.0 implication in hospitality industry? Do we get a job? And in fact, let me tell you very frankly, that time I was having a very clear concept. Hospitality and tourism industry is such an industry which will never have a 100% robot satisfaction. So our success rate. The reason is you can take the help of robotics, but human interference is very much important. So companies has to shift from cost to investment. Company has to consider what the workers' expectations are, meeting the challenges, taking care of the well-beings. We should not think because if we treat our human being properly, they will be the change agent in the innovation. And of course, enhancement of capabilities and fostering creativity by upskilling and reskilling is also one of the important aspects of when you talk about the human centricity. The second pillar of Industry 5.0 is about sustainability. Sustainability is all about resource efficiency, utilizing the resources in a much economical way. We have to be a planet positive. We need to reduce the carbon footprints. And of course, it helps us to achieve our SDG goals 9, that is industrial innovation structure, and SDG goal 12, that is responsible consumption and production. But how can we bring sustainability in an organization? Very simple, 4 reasons. Try to recruit the individual who are value match with the organization. They should not get a culture shock. Go for a secondary recycling or develop a secondary market for recycling of the product. Use the resources very wisely. And of course, the technology is the key to unlock the door of sustainability in our organization. This is the second pillar of, and we have to understand very important thing out here. We should not, organization should not be a value capture, it should not focus on value capture economy. They should focus on value creation economy. The value capture economy means only thinking about profitability. Only thinking about profitability, much of production and more wealth creation. But value capture is basically thinking of the profitability along with the sustainability of the human well-being. So this is another thing which we can do with sustainability. The third pillar of Industry 5.0 is resilience. We all know that past 3 years were full of fear in our business. So resilience is the degree of robustness in industrial production aiming against disruption. Everyone knows about what is resilience, preparing the organization to meet the challenges of the future. That is resilience. So what should we do? Organization should create an anti-fragile system so that they can anticipate, they can learn, and they can react to the disruption which is happening in and around the world. So for the resilience, we can, I think you know about the VUCA framework. That is, V stands for volatility, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complexity, and A stands for ambiguity. While applying this VUCA framework in an organization, this framework was developed for American Army in 1987 by Warren Barris, when they were not clear what they have to do and how to fight against the Afghanistan and Iraq war. So this VUCA framework, what we have to, how to apply, we have to create when the things are very volatile. Think about the vision, what you want to achieve. When the things are uncertain, have a clarity in your thoughts. When the things are complex, don't make it more complex. Have a simple and linear processes. And when ambiguity means, you should know what you are not knowing about that. So the solution is create a vision, do it in a, have certainty in that, allow the organization to know what they should know, and do it in the agile way. That is the only option which we left with the organization. And because there is a very powerful thought by Albert Einstein. He says that we cannot solve a problem with the same thinking we used when we created them. So we have to be agile in our approach. Now, the third, these key elements everyone has discussed, so I'm skipping this key element. Though, as my earlier professor has also said, this slide presentation was made for half an hour, but because of the paucity of time, I'm skipping these slides. This is another benefits and advantages. And of course, challenges the roadmap, which has been already been discussed in the morning. Now, the biggest question comes in the mind of how to implement these Industry 5.0 again in an organization in the context of human centricity, resilience, and sustainability. So, either we need to reinvent where we are, and in terms of sustainability, resilience, and human centricity, or go back to the CD model. What are the things which we are practicing, and what are the things which we need to change in terms of technology, in terms of people, in terms of process? Now, according to me, because I am from the industry background, so according to me, there are 6 building blocks for Industry 5.0. The first is strategy. You have to find out, because do you have a data-driven strategy that enable us to use technology? Second is technology. Do you have a right technology where people can work efficiently? Then there is analytics. We have data-driven, but are we using the analytics into a decision-making process? Yes or no? Innovation. Innovation is the key for success. Is the innovation happening in an organization on a daily basis? or everyone is involved with the innovation of the processes. If we do that, because it will help to achieve the vision of an organization. Engage. Do we engage with our internal customers or B2B customers? Do we, because these many traditional companies, they have still are maintaining the same relationship between the worker and the owner. We need to shift a mind change. Organization, worker is not working for the organization, now the concept has to be organization working for the people. And of course, skill. Do our employees have a competency, skill and upskilling so that they can prove their worthiness for the organization? So according to me, if any one of the 6 building blocks is missing, it will not lead to a digital transformation. Let me give you an example out here. If you are not having a data-driven strategy, but if you are using technology, if you are using a data analytics, process and innovation, you can go for a digitalization. It is okay. Digitalization is okay because we started from the stage 1. Every company has to start. Unfortunately, most of the organizations are still in industry 3.0. They are not moving ahead to industry 4.0 or industry 5. But if you have a data-driven strategy and if you don't have technology, people are not aware of what they need to do. They don't have technology to work for. It will lead to frustration. So technology is very, very important for the growth of any organization. But if you have data-driven strategy, if you have technology, but if you do not have a data analytics in place, again the organization never able to implement industry 5.0. The reason is we don't know our KPIs. We don't know what are the achievement, what are the things we have achieved. So it will lead to a stagnation, because if it is unclear, it will become ambiguity. So if we remove the process and innovation, it will lead to, like for example, do not use Siri or do not use critical design thinking modules, then it will be a coherent action. But if you, this just 2 words, and if we do not have team and customer engagement, it will bring a resistance. When they are old traditional companies, they always brief the employees that they are bringing change in the organization, but they don't bring the change. So people will think, "Aap hamesha bolte rehte ho, don't bring the change," so it will resist and there is nothing new which is to learn. And if you don't have a competencies, if you are ready to, people are ready to work, but they do not have the core competencies to upgrade their skills, it will lead to anxiety. And in the last, if you have all the 6 aspects in your organization, it will lead to a smooth transition from the industry 4.0 to industry 5.0 transformation efficiently. So these are the way forwards, because theme was way forward, so I'm skipping this. There are a lot of policy makers has to bring a lot of changes, especially from the environmental policy, technological R&D in terms of the human centricity. So these are the basically giving incentive in taxation. So a lot of way forward which we can, following the circular economy principle. So a lot of things which we have to do in order to implement industry 5.0 or 0. Remember, to end my presentation, because of the paucity of time, it is not the strongest of the species will survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable, to change. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Saxena. First of all, I congratulate Sahid Bhagat Singh College, principal, organizing committee, and the committee who is responsible to organize directly or indirectly this function. Now I summarize the session. I would like to summarize this informative session with some important key points. As you know, there is a technology and we are developing the technology, we are extending the technology, but we have to keep certain things in mind. The technology which is being developed, that is a integration of the hardware and software, that should be sustainable and responsible, following the ethics and security point of view. Now, Professor S.S. Dubey discussed the generative AI, which refers to the generation of the individual who are born and raised in the era heavily influenced by the artificial intelligence, automation, digital technologies, the impact of generative AI on learning and development uh, point of view. Dr. Vimal Kumar have talked about the digital technology and Industry 5.0 integrated with 3S model, smart, sustainable, and scalable, which play a very important role in transforming the global supply chains, while digital technologies such as IoT, sensors, RFID, and AI enable supply chain smart, renewable energy resources, waste reduction, and eco-friendly uh, packaging make the supply chain sustainable. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar talked about 3Ms plays a very important role, man, machine, and material, and obviously following by the method. So the 4Ms is very much required to produce the smart goods or products which can sustain in the market, and also talked about its advantages, obstacle, and strategies for incorporation in the organizational framework. Thank you. Thank you all. If you have any question, you can ask. The session is open for the question. Here are the distinguished speakers sitting. If you have any question, or thank you very much for hearing us patiently.
Thank you, Professor Chauhan, for facilitating such a beautiful and enlightening discussion with our esteemed panelists. In conclusion, Industry 5.0 presents unprecedented opportunities for growth, but it is our collective responsibility to ensure that this growth is sustainable, inclusive, and beneficial for all. Our panelists have emphasized the critical role of Industry 5.0 in navigating the challenges and opportunities within the scope of responsible growth. It's clear that the theme is not only relevant but also demands our collective attention as we move forward. As our discussion draws to a close, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists and chairperson for their invaluable contribution and insight shared today. Your expertise has truly enriched our dialogue and inspired us to explore new perspectives. Now, I would like to invite Professor Shikha Gupta to Vikram Meena and Hashim Maharaj to join me on the stage to express our sincere thanks and present the Shahid Bhagat Singh bust and memento to our chairperson, Professor Nathiram Chauhan. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Dr. Sahir Sayed and Dr. Shivangi Devan to join me on stage to express our gratitude to Professor S.S. Dubey. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite Dr. Vishal Garg and Chandni to join me and help us to extend our gratitude to our panelist, Dr. Vimal Kumar. Thank you. Lastly, I invite Dr. Rati Dhillon and Dr. Neha Nainwal to come forward and assist me in thanking our final panelist, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Saxena. I thank our panelists, chairperson, and colleagues for their outstanding contribution in today's event. On behalf of Department of Commerce, Shahid Bhagat Singh College, we would like to thank you all for your participation today. Thank you again to our distinguished panelists for sharing their invaluable insights, and thank you to our audience for joining us on these enlightening discussions. Let us collectively navigate the path to Industry 5.0 and responsibility and innovation. Before we conclude today's event, I would like to request all our esteemed audience members to kindly remain seated for a brief but important part of our program. We now have our validative session scheduled immediately followed by our second plenary session. Our holiday session will serve as a moment of reflection and gratitude as we wrap up this insightful discussion we had today. So I urge all you to stay with us. Your presence and participation are invaluable to us. We look forward to having you joining us for the next session. Thank you for your attention and let's embark on this final leg of our journey together. Thank you.
Hello, all. Please remain seated. We are starting with the valedictory very soon.
पॉज करने के लिए रेडी भाई क्या होता है ठीक है इसको फुल स्क्रीन करके रख देता हूँ और ये पकड़ा है भाई सर से क्या करना है इसका
Sir Shikha Gupta, on behalf of Department of Commerce, Shahid Bhagat Singh College, welcome you all to the valedictory session of the 11th International Conference on Business and Management 2024. Respected Principal, Professor Arun Kumar Atri, Conference Director and Teacher in Charge, Dr. Shalini Gupta, faculty members, distinguished participants from India and abroad, and last but not the least, our dear students who have gathered here for the large session of our celebrated one-day hybrid conference, we extend a warm welcome to all of you. Embracing the change in time, it brings us immense joy and pride to take you all to a virtual tour of our college and department through a small video presentation.
Shahid Bhagat Singh College, named after the great son of India, Sardar Bhagat Singh, was established in the year 1967. The college started its first academic session with 3 courses and 134 students. Since then, the college has witnessed enormous growth and now it has 166 teachers, 3,600 students, and 10 courses. The college completed its 50 glorious years in 2016-17. Over these 50 years, the college has distinguished itself in diverse academic and professional fields by providing a vibrant and intellectually stimulating academic culture to promote the independence of thought and vision. The college has noted alumni who have excelled in various fields and have done wonders as academicians, influencers, actors, scholars, leaders, and visionaries. The college's growth has propelled immensely in the last 1 year since Professor Arun Kumar Atri took the charge of the principal of this college. He, after taking the charge of principal, has appointed 88 permanent teachers, out of which 36 teachers were appointed in the Department of Commerce. Under his dynamic leadership, the infrastructure of the college is also developing significantly, which will help in multilateral growth of the students. Today, the college has fully computerized library, new technology-modified computer labs, AC smart classes, AC Girls Common Room, impressive sports infrastructure, and knowledge dissemination center. In all these facilities, Commerce Department is the major shareholder. To further enhance the administrative efficiency, the college has become the first college in University of Delhi to implement an enterprise resource planning ERP solution. It has enabled students to witness their live attendance and submit their tests and assignments on time. The Commerce Department is the largest department of the college, comprising 64 highly qualified faculty members specializing in diverse areas of business and management. The department envisions a holistic development of its students by giving them the exposure of leadership and entrepreneurship by organizing several activities under various societies. Udyam, organized by the Commerce Association, is the most vibrant event of the department, which attracts over 2,500 participants from various colleges across the University of Delhi. Advitya Hunar or Jasni Ka Sangam is another popular event in the university organized by the Commerce Association. It provides a platform to the differently abled students to showcase their talent and confidence. In addition to this, Marksoft, the marketing society, aims to enhance the understanding of marketing among the students. The Tech and Analytics Society, Ardent, focuses on web design, data analytics, technology, and digital marketing. The 180-degree Consulting Society works to increase its consultants' awareness about the corporate world. Apart from this, the department provides a significant contribution to other societies like Young Entrepreneur Society, enactors, finance and investment, and NCC. The department also publishes peer-reviewed reference journal of business studies. The department has been bringing out this journal for more than 30 years. It provides the researchers with a major platform to publish their quality research work in the area of finance, accounting, marketing, law, and human resource management. The department has an old tradition of organizing national and international conferences on business and management in diverse areas like FDI, mergers and acquisitions, financial sector reforms, technology, innovation, corporate laws, and marketing. These conferences have been inaugurated by eminent personalities like Salman Khurshid, Sheila Dikshit, and Professor K.K. Agarwal. There has always been an overwhelming response from the academicians, researchers, and practitioners from all over the country and overseas in these conferences. The present conference promises to bring together highly reputed academicians, industry representatives, innovators, leaders, professionals, and practitioners on the theme of the conference, Synergizing Industry 5.0 and Responsible Growth. Thus, we take pride in organizing this conference and welcome you all to 11th International Conference on Business and Management 2024. We hope you will find yourself enriched after attending various sessions of this conference.
On this momentous occasion, it is both a privilege and a pleasure to have with us highly esteemed and acclaimed dignitaries from the world of academia. We proudly welcome Professor Ajay Kumar Singh, Senior Professor, Head and Dean, Department of Commerce, Faculty of Commerce and Business, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, as our guest of honor. Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer at the All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of Education, New Delhi, was also supposed to come as our chief guest for this session. However, because of unavoidable professional commitment which came up at the last moment, he is not able to make it. Anyhow, I now request our principal sir, Professor Arun Kumar Atri, Conference Director, Dr. Shalini Gupta, and Organizing Secretary, Professor Anil Kumar, to assist Professor Singh and join us on the dais. Thank you, sir. Now, I call upon Professor Anil Kumar and Dr. Pooja Talwar, Faculty of Commerce, to come on stage and felicitate and welcome our guest of honor, Professor Singh, with a planter and a shawl.